समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
The outrage over US Navy sinking of the Iranian frigate IRIS Dana can be understood with one headline. Here is our suggestion. Donald Trump has ushered in the age of humiliation exclusively upon his allies, partners, and friends. For us in India, the answer to this is another H word, which we will come to in a bit. There is also a simpler way to understand this using the Indian truckers' logic. See this picture, see this graphic. Wonderful graphic by Shruti Nathani. Among the many delightful lines that you read on the back of our trucks is, highway trucks is, ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसको हमने ठगा नहीं. In English, it loses flavor, yet on best effort translation, there is no relative or someone really close to me whom I haven't swindled. Substitute relative with ally, partner, friend, and swindled with humiliated, and you get the picture. Trump's method is to push around America's friends rudely and publicly. He knows none of them can afford to fight back given traditional dependencies as with Europe or comparatively recent investments in trust and linkages for India. Trump has often humiliated these countries' leaders individually. He did this earlier this week with Keir Starmer, as he had done with leaders of Spain, Denmark, Norway, Canada, Ukraine, South Africa, France, poor neutral Switzerland. Poor only in the sense that despite being neutral, Switzerland had its president insulted. Where else but in Switzerland at Davos? And you can counting these countries and leaders friendly to America who Trump has given offense to. Why did he get furious with them? On Spain denying the use of its bases for the war on Iran, he said the US simply won't ask. Spain, who are they to allow us or not allow us? We simply won't ask. We'll just go in, let's see if they can stop us. With Denmark and Norway, respectively, there is Greenland and is Nobel. On South Africa, he bought into the Elon Musk mythology of a white genocide and his love of Zelensky, we all well know. That hasn't stopped him, however, from seeking Ukraine's help against Iran's drone swarms now, because Ukraine knows how to handle them. You can see two things therefore. One, that Trump can be pragmatic and transactional. He doesn't take his insults for his friends to his own heart. That he also expects them not to take it to their hearts can be problematic. Europe is too dependent on him to complain. If you can't defend yourself, you bear humiliation stoically by one you've outsourced your security to. A long time back, ancient Greek general Thucydides, the one famous for Thucydides' trap, he wrote in his history of the Peloponnesian War in 416 BC that, and I quote from Thucydides, the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. That is the situation with Europe right now. So they cannot challenge Donald Trump. If you can't defend yourselves, you bear humiliation stoically by one you've outsourced your security to. It can't work the same way for other democracies with popular leaders and ability to defend themselves like India. India is the most significant of these, in fact. For Narendra Modi, Trump said in one of his shooting the breeze moments on camera that I don't want to destroy his political career. Now, this, however, was used in a very muddled context, open to interpretations from trade to Russian oil to homophobia. He said, I love him, he loves me, but you know what? I don't want you to be misunderstood and destroy his political career. So that was maybe also about homophobia, but we don't know. That clip's been taken out and that clip has gone around. Trump's claim of stopping the fighting in Op Sindoor by threatening to halt trade passed the dozen mark some time back and we've stopped counting. As with the number of planes he claims were downed during Op Sindoor, of course, he doesn't say whose and by who. Trump isn't a man of detail or subtlety. His obsession is making the headline. On the odd day, he might feel a headline is missing, So he would fire a cabinet minister. That gives him a headline. Watch his dismissal of his favorite Secretary of Homeland Security, Christine Noem. The second thing follows that he feels so comforted and confident in only attacking those reliant on him, America's sovereign friends or his own team members. He is nice to Xi Jinping. He indulges Vladimir Putin and earlier even Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Christine Noem is only the second key figure he is fired in his second term after Michael Waltz, the NSA, and also known as Mr. Fast Fingers on Signal. He's the one who got the editor of The Atlantic on his Signal group planning attacks on Houthis in Yemen. But if the past is any guide to the present and the future, you ain't seen nothing yet. In his first term, Trump fired at least seven cabinet rank officers, or maybe seven cabinet rank officers, and forced about as many out. He's at war with some of them even now. Think former NSA John Bolton and advisor Steve Bannon. He's at war with both of them, and like how? At various points, Trump has said for his people that would be seen as insulting in our cultures. Point proven, therefore, Trump's special affections are exclusive to his friends and comrades and allies and partners. That's why the time to get really worried is when he refers to you as my good friend, my very good friend, great man, my very great friend, etc., etc. That's when he's really sharpened his knife for you and he'll stick it into your back in front of your own audiences. He's the school bully who must keep reminding those he sees as being in his gang that he's the boss and stay out of the way of the rival bullies and their gangs. How do India and Modi respond to this? This isn't Europe, and Modi isn't Starmer, Merz, or even Macron. No Indian Prime Minister would have been. So far, Modi has handled Trump wisely by not taking the bait. Although it's being thrown at him routinely, India has remained silent despite being singled out for quote-unquote punitive tariffs over buying Russian oil. I don't believe a BJP in opposition would have given a Congress government that kind of space. The Congress, when in opposition, is mostly content with writing tweets. That is their weapon of choice in 2026. Good luck to them. They are too lazy to even collect 10,000 people to protest this quote-unquote national humiliation. They can collect 10,000 people, but it takes some hard work. You have to get out, and it's getting a bit hot. The weather's getting a bit hot early this year, this March. But as pressure adds up, various people attack him, pressure adds up, West Bengal election comes, Didi Mamata Banerjee joins in the campaign. How long can Modi government and BJP keep this calm? It is wise to observe Maun Vrat on Trump, forgetting when the BJP called Manmohan Singh Mauni Baba or Mute Fakir for not speaking up on the most minor foreign provocation, American provocation, like that sham of an insult to Devyani Khobragade, our diplomat in New York, who had much to answer for herself. Anti-Americanism is Indian public opinion's default option and works for both sides. The BJP used it in the past. The opposition can use it now. It is using it, not as effectively, but it will build up. So let us see how long can BJP government keep this silence. The other area they've been wise on is the search for other friends. The effusive, warm response to Mark Carney is a good example. Before that, German Chancellor Merz as well. After all, Canada has been the US's closest ally and therefore the recipient of the worst 51st state insults from Trump. Trump is creating more openings for his victims. Middle powers are now searching for solace in the bosom of one another because there are many middle powers in the world. Nobody has told India why Modi made his visit to Israel when it wasn't even his turn but Netanyahu's. And this despite knowing that a war on Iran was lurking. The only educated guess I can make, it's a guess, but an educated guess, is that Op Sindoor was a rude wake-up call on military gaps and the urgent need to fill them. The two successive PSLV launch failures, loss of invaluable military-capable satellites, inadequacy of own ISR, which is intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance resources, as well as the need for standoff weapons, drones, sensors, and air defense systems. Should another round begin and last longer? It's also evident that in the Middle East, India has picked a side. India has chosen a side. And it is the Israel-UAE combined. It's not just Israel, it's the Israel-UAE combined. Remember, Israel, UAE, and India are three of the four in I2U2, America being the fourth. It also puts that sudden and mysterious visit by UAE ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, MBZ in perspective. Something was cooking at that point. The third wise thing is to yield space to China on trade. How many pangas can India take in this age of global insecurity with its limited leverage and known strategic vulnerabilities? This is an opinion piece. The fourth wise thing the Modi government could do and should do, but likely won't, is to repair its relationship with the opposition. Read Congress. India had a healthy tradition of the government taking the opposition in confidence in the national interest. How do you do it when you treat the opposition as anti-national vermin and its leader as a clown? I understand that today's politics is rude and unforgiving, but Trump's insults are not about to end. This week, he sank a ship on its way back home from your own ceremonial fleet review. Tomorrow, it could be worse. I might even say it will be worse. As the pressure from the opposition grows, it will only shrink your own room for maneuver. This is for Modi government. One window to strategic autonomy also opens from domestic politics. Shutting it narrows your options. In short, we got ahead of ourselves in presuming global stature for ourselves. We drank too much of our own Kool-Aid. The Americanism is used deliberately. And this Kool-Aid was of being a rising and indispensable global power and got high on it, on our own Kool-Aid. Trump has hosed us down with chilled Potomac water. It's time to take a deep breath, suspend self-congratulation and get down to building up our economy, defense, keep the social cohesion, recalibrate domestic politics and rebuild bipartisan, multi-partisan national unity. Tough, sounds tough, isn't it, in today's politics? But to navigate these three Trump years, you need that other H word that we put in deep freeze over these heady 11 years. Some humility at home is where you begin dealing with Trump's global age of humiliation.